was the benefit of the doubt for me. Because
that's a good point.
If I'm rolling with you, I may see something and say, man, what was that about?
Right.
But I'm going to say, you know what? I feel like I vouch for this guy's character. Let me let him explain himself and maybe down the road and, kind of clarify whatever. But it was like an initial attack on me. And I'll say this. When you posed your first question, you said us, right? Now, personally, me, I'm half white, I'm half black. I'm not pro-black, I'm pro-everybody.
But Kovalev, okay, you know the energy was a Kovalev war, though.
Let me finish. I'm pro-everybody. That's me. But you used that as an opportunity to benefit your page.
No.
Tell you what.
Okay, continue.
Because you got Wilder riled up about it. Let him know, baby. Let him know. Posted things over and over and over. No.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I was just listening to an interview interviewing Andre SOG Ward. And this is a reckoning. This is a reckoning video when an interviewer, a journalist from the ldbc, Barbershop Conversations, encountered Andre Ward. Now, Andre Ward was waiting to be interviewed by this person again, okay? And from the breakdown, Andre Ward was simply asking him, why did you attack me and my character because of what I said about my opinion? Okay, so let's do a little refresh. Okay, Andre Ward stated after the Fury Wilder 1 fight was over, Andre Ward simply said, hey, I don't think Wilder would want to get back in there with someone like Fury again. You know, he should cut his losses and let that be that. I would look forward to a fight between Joshua and Fury in April. Right? Everybody went ballistic. The whole ldbc lost their fucking minds. Okay? They start calling him half-breed. They start calling him, well, he's really not black. You know, like, they said everything in the book about him. And including this particular interviewer. That's why Andre Ward was like, if I'm not mistaken, you were the one that was riding with me when I was fighting Kovalev, when, you were defending me when you thought that I was a particular guy. And Andre Ward asked him, like, okay, well, why any sign, the first sign of me thinking that I was belittling Wilder, why didn't you just come to me? And he was like, well, it's public, so a public response meant a public response. You sent a public response, so I had to give a public response. He said, yeah, a public response against towards Wilder, not towards you. You were supposed to be riding with me. You made that attack against me. I didn't make an attack against you. That's you took it personal, and he did. Why? Because everyone basically from the ldbc is a pro-black channel, and Andre Ward shut them down. Okay, he shut them down easily. He was like, look, I'm half white, half black. I'm pro everybody. So let's cut this shit about you using me only when it fits you, when it fits your narrative, and when you want to use me to be that African-American figure, because he brought up Kovalev, well, everything is about race. No, it's not. That's what you like to believe. A lot of people believe like you do, but not everyone. Okay, people do believe in skill and ring IQ and just boxing knowledge and boxing experience overall versus, hey, what does a person look like for the color of their skin? There's a difference from nationality and race. I've said this before in my videos to clear up the difference, and the ldbc has to know the difference. They have to know the difference between someone that is from a certain nation can look like damn near anything, more than likely. If you're Cuba, Dominican Republic, Adesanya, he's from Australia. He's another black man, though. Anderson Silva, Brazil. He's another black man, though. Use those guys. They are from two different countries. That's the difference between nationality. Okay? So if you're hung up on race like the LDBC is, you would have that mindset. They bashed Andre Ward because he made a simple comment. So what Andre Ward did, Andre Ward broke down what he meant by the words. Okay? And he was like, well, someone that big, that tall, that tricky, that fast, that sharp, yeah, that awkward. Yeah, I mean, he would give someone problems, and I don't think Wilder would want to go through that again. What's wrong with what I said? He was like, well, I was hurt, and I was personally hurt when you retired. I cried. Okay. You cried because the same spirit that you had from using this particular person as your black action figure, right? You thought you were going to ride this particular person throughout, and when he retired, you cried because you knew he was a talented person, which Andre Ward is a talented person. But he simply clarified, like, hey, this is not a black thing. Okay? So he shut that shit down right then. He didn't make it like, you say my brother and us. And then he was like, who is us? When you say us, hey, look, I'm half white, half black. And that's the truth. Okay? You can't separate his father from his mother and call him one thing because it fits your narrative. It doesn't work that way. Okay? And just because he made that comment, don't mean you should stop riding with him. Don't mean that you should start pointing out the fact that he is half white or he is half black because he pointed it out for you. I'm not for or against you, but if you ride with me, you should ride with me because I make sense and I'm a good inspiration to the sport of boxing overall. That's one thing that they fail to realize in the LDBC. Okay, because they're hung up on race. They're really a bunch of racists at the end of the day because they favor the black fighter simply because they figure a black fighter doesn't have all the advantages to begin with. I know what the narrative is. I know what the plan is, but it doesn't always work like that. However, doesn't mean that a black fighter won't be discriminated against. Okay, I ain't saying that. I never said that. I think Erislandy Lara was discriminated against because he wasn't the draw. You know what I mean? And now maybe if he was, if he sold more tickets or if he was a different skin pigmentation, maybe that might have something to do with it. It could. But guess what? At the end of the day, I think Lara won and I think Lara was cheated, regardless of what color he was, where he was from, whatever. He beat Canelo for me. That's just an example. But with these guys thinking, I roll with you, and then have the nerve to say, you have the same spirit that Deontay Wilder had. Deontay Wilder had your same spirit. How so? How is Deontay Wilder like Andre Ward? How? They don't think the same. They don't respect the same. They don't respect anything the same. They don't respect the fact that ring IQ and boxing and skills matter. Andre Ward does. Deontay Wilder doesn't. Okay? Andre Ward moved up in weight to challenge the best. Deontay Wilder ain't did none of that shit. Deontay Wilder came up with excuses on money from not fighting Anthony Joshua. Let's be real. Deontay Wilder was a guy that didn't want to call out Klitschko. His management team didn't even want him to because they didn't believe in him. I don't know if that was necessarily his fault, but hey, at the end of the day, he has his own mouthpiece. He has his own mind. He has his own preference. He could have went after that. He could have fought Charles Martin. He could have done a lot of things in the sport of boxing. Something that Andre Ward did. You know what I mean? So Andre Ward ain't around talking about, I want to look in a kid's eyes after I cripple his father. How the fuck are they the same? You guys tell me that. So I don't know what Barbershop Conversation was talking about, where he was trying to go. What he was referring to is that's the way he personally felt about Andre Ward using him again as the black action figure, the black role model for his narrative, for his stories, for his videos, for his people, and not realizing that Andre Ward is a biracial person. That's the whole skinny, mate. That's it in a nutshell. So when he said something he didn't like, they betrayed him. The whole ldbc. And Andre Ward shut that shit down. Like, I'm pro everyone. You could have came to me before posting a video about what I said or what you think I said. You should have asked me first, because I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to Deontay Wilder. And that's exactly what he was doing. So he didn't have a room to talk. He was just like, yeah, you're right. You're right. He was shut down. He cut a lot of that video out, honestly. He cut a lot of that out. And you could tell from the beginning, he cut it out. I'm not going to put a link below. You guys look that shit out for yourself. I'm not going to promote his channel here. But Andre Ward showed why he is Andre SOG Ward, because his integrity speaks for himself. And I'm proud how he responded, because he said what he needed to say, what he meant to say, and he covered all corners. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Andre Ward setting the record straight, putting Barbershop Conversations and the ldbc on Front Street. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.